Hi guys, Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. On a recent trip, I was doing a deep dive into some of my journal stats for the past few years, and I'm coming up with a conclusion that's quite interesting. I think I need to travel more. So I had someone help me with a project that was on my mind to take all the trades I had in the futures market for the past 2.5 years and separate them from my traveling trades and the ones I had taken in my home office. Right? I stripped out results. I took credit card bills. I had boarding passes to make sure the dates were all set. We stripped them apart and we came up with some interesting conclusions. And I want to share them with you. And quite honestly, I could use your help with what you think and suggestions I have going forward. Let's take a look at some of the KPIs that we came up with regarding my traveling and trading results. Okay, so here's a brief KPI dashboard summary of 5 KPIs that give a flavor of my results and compare them to the traveling trader on the road results versus my home-based average. And this is for the past about 2.5 years since lockdown and things were opening up. All right, let's go to the first one. Profit factor. On the road, 1.72. At home, 1.47. Very interesting. All right. The average trades per day, 1.6 versus more than double, 3.8 at home. That was expected. Okay, because when you're on the road, just kind of set it and forget it. Next, win rate, 72.5 versus 64.1. Again, on the road, better. Not the most important metric for me, quite honestly. Profit factor is much more important, but again, something very interesting. The average profit per contract, per trade per contract, 4.1 versus 3.4. Very, very interesting. That probably has to do with a lot of more of a set it and forget it. And I'm not watching every tick, so I'm probably staying in the trade longer. I could find that stat out as well. Okay, profit and loss, clearly much better at home. I expected this, but primarily driven because of my contract size. I'm trading about 8 times to 10 times this amount higher at home based office versus on the road with a laptop and phone app. So this is very interesting and quite honestly, quite concerning since my traveling trader rate is about 26%. So that's about 26% of all the days I'm pretty much sleeping in a bed that's not in my home. So some of these I kind of expected, but some of these were just sort of eye-catching, particularly on the profit factor, which is basically my salary. All right, so let's run this through the risk management process, which is identify an issue, assess the impact it may have, what controls you're going to do to put in place, and then monitor and manage those changes. And those are the 5 steps of the risk management process. Anytime I have an issue that I've identified, I run it through that process. So let's identify the problem. What is the data telling me? Right? Do I really need to keep size that small? I don't think so. All right? This is done way back when, where I had sort of an 8-to-1 or 10-to-1 size ratio. Next, is technology and Wi-Fi fears limiting me? I think so. It's very, very possible. Am I worried too much about it? Are tech improvements being considered? We've made a lot of really interesting changes with technology and Wi-Fi in hotels, airports, and being on the road. Is there something where I really haven't caught up to speed, at least comfort-wise, with that? Good point. How many times has an issue actually come up? This is risk assessment. So now you're assessing what actually was the exposure here. And the answer is, I haven't had any issues. So very interesting. Does that mean I load the boat? No, but it's something I have to start considering. Do I have the same risk controls in place at home and on the road? Well, I will tell you, there's probably better risk controls in place at home. However, every trade I have has an OCO order attached to it. So there's a stop and there's a target. And once one of them hits, the other one automatically cancels. It's the rules I have in my plan, and my broker's app accommodates it very nicely. Next, is there a happiness factor here? It's very interesting. I'm going to assess this. At home, there's so much crazy stuff. Traffic jams, I get up early, and then within 20 minutes, I got a laundry list of things I have to do. Run here, run there. A lot of responsibilities professionally and for my home. Is that something where maybe on the road, I'm just more happy environment and I'm just trading better? Very, very possible. These are the things I really have to think about some more. And I'm curious to see what your thoughts are regarding this as well. I want to hear you post them in the comments. So let's look at some possible solutions to this matter. Bring more abundance to a hectic home schedule. Trading from scarcity with a lot of things going on certainly could have an impact on your results. Certainly does to mine. So can I bring some of that sort of calmness to my hectic home schedule? Something I have to look into. Next, optimize my platform risk controls. This is something I definitely have to do on my development plan. Am I optimizing my platform, whether it's a laptop or my broker's app, trading app, the risk controls? Just have to make sure. I want to do some tutorials on that. Next, delegate more at home. Very interesting. If it's a little hectic at home, maybe there's some things I can delegate or such like that. All right. Start graduating size more while traveling. This is really the ultimate question that I'm trying to determine with this exercise. Right? Is my fear limiting my contract size? Well, maybe 1/8 the size on the road is not that metric. I'm not going to go 100%, but maybe I'll slowly graduate that, especially since I haven't really had any occurrences of any issues regarding Wi-Fi or the app. And lastly, maybe I should travel more. My stats are telling me to do so. Maybe I should get my travel agent more engaged in the process. I'm curious to see what your thoughts are and your suggestions. Quite honestly, I think I need them. Let me know your experience traveling on the road. Did you have any problems trading? Did you lighten down back on size? What are your thoughts and what are your experiences? I certainly could use your help. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.